him and Parker McDonald. That's the first one. First podcast.
Thank you so much.
That bring you some luck when you
I
go to
hope it does.
Bankhead.
I need it.
You might not need it.
I'm gonna start wearing one, I'm telling you right now. I've been hunting out there and I ain't seen, what, 3, 4?
It's close. That
I
close.
mean, I'm close. I was very close that one day in the rain. Just too close. Ugh. They just haunting me.
They'll do it, that's for sure.
All right, I'm gonna go over here so y'all can get started.
Yeah, I'll do it. All right, y'all. Welcome back to 18 Outdoors. We got special guests. Don't get off that, Antley. Behave. We're all going to edit any of this out because it's just the way we are. We got family and that's our dogs. Grandkids ain't over here. Today we're sitting here going to chat Mr. Eli Howse. He's how old is that? 19-year-old?
19.
I can't even remember when I was 19. 19, I've been in the Navy for 2 years. So. But anyway, an up-and-coming young hunter that loves hunting public land. Has got through touring the country a little bit on a
Yeah, a little bit.
outdoor show, doing some bow hunting and we're gun hunting too. But just bow
Well,
hunting.
we bow hunted the majority of the time. We got to gun hunt for 1 week at the very end.
Wow. So, but you got to experience some different states and compare and get to kind of compare that to Alabama style of hunting, stuff like that. So
Right.
it's real unique, and to be that young and to have that opportunity is pretty dang cool and amazing. So I'm sure you had fun out there. So,
Oh, I had a blast.
so well, give us a little history about where you from, raised, what type of hunting you like, and
Well, I'm from here, from around Addison, Alabama, from Winston County. My family all went to Addison High School, and that's where I grew up. For the most part, I went to Coleman High School for all of elementary school, 'cause that's where my mom wanted us, and then eventually ventured out. Finally talked her into moving to Addison, which is where my heart always was, and finished out, or went to all through high school there, and that's just where home's been ever since. Me and my dad's about taught me everything I know. I think I got him outdone now, maybe.
maybe
I've learned a lot, and just in the past year, mainly from
if your
people
dad's
like
watching
you.
this, he says he's got you outdone.
He's-
I'll
well,
take that personal.
He's still killed bigger deer than me, but
Oh, okay. So, there you go.
I'll get there one day, I hope. But
you will.
yeah,
That's good, though. That's good that you're learning from him. You think you've learned a little bit more than him now because of the states you've been to and stuff, and picking up more on that, or just
well, that and learning from people like you. I try to listen to as many podcasts as I can.
appreciate that.
There's a lot of people that don't realize how much other people know. If they would just listen to stuff like that, they'd learn a lot and help them out a lot on how to kill bigger deer.
Well, there's a lot of information out there, and that's part of what we're going to talk about. Is the difference, like from when I was growing up hunting to what you're doing now and growing up with, and being able to pick up as far as the information that's out there. And there's a big difference. So like when I was growing up, finding a deer track was impressive. Like so, well, I grew up in my teenage years in Coleman County, and we lived on 40 acres that was thick, and there's a bunch of land that was thick around it. Never seen a deer track ever. I've done a bunch of trapping, fishing, squirrel hunting. Never seen a deer track anywhere. And now you can't drive. And I live in a different part of Coleman County, but the whole part of Coleman County now, you can't drive 5 miles without seeing a deer run over.
Yeah,
So,
that's
and
very
back
true.
then, 80-90% of the county wasn't any deer, but now there's a lot more deer, and the styles of hunting and what you have to do now, or what you got now versus what we had then is way different. So that's kind of what we want to talk about is. So when I grew up, public land was pretty much it. Nobody had any money, or we didn't have no money to join any clubs, and you didn't even hear about clubs that much. So.
Right.
So my dad would take, when he started deer hunting, they started out hunting with shotguns,
Yeah.
and I think my dad had one of the first Remington 700, 30-06s that most people ever seen. A lot of people when they first got a rifle then, they picked up 7.42, a semi-automatic, because they wanted to shoot more shots, because they were all used to shooting shotguns. A lot of them were dog hunting deer that back in. So now everybody, real good rifles, and you got people going into ARs, and just equipment's way different, So muzzleloader difference, from smoothbore muzzleloaders with open sights to now you got rifle muzzleloaders. Now you got rifle powder muzzleloaders. The tree stand. We didn't even have tree stands starting out with. My dad, we had little rolls of foam rolled up, and we'd carry that with us, and he'd rake out a spot on the leaves and sit by a tree, and he'd say, Dad, you stay there, I'll come back, and we can drop you off in the dark, and come back and get you at lunch. But the first tree stand that I seen, my dad bought a Baker, had a wooden bottom, and just like angled aluminum, didn't even have a climbing, so you had to hug the tree, and we kind of copied it and made some, and pull a bucket up, sit on the bucket when what climbing we done. And the first stand I bought, I saved up money and bought the old style tree lamps, big heavy thing, but real comfortable. But I wished I still had that thing. But anyway, I mean that part is today, I don't know what style you use, but the saddles and the light climbers, the portable lock-ons, beef stands, the lone wolf stuff, all that stuff
It's changed.
It's a big difference, when the archery equipment, my dad, he was a recurve hunter, and some of the first compounds that come out, he bought like a bear pole or two, and he killed a few with it, but he'd tear it up because they just wasn't built as good as new stuff. And now, compounds, they're trying to get to 500 feet a second, like chasing crossbow, they're chasing that speed. So all that stuff is amazing, and now versus what we had then, and the deer, we had some more public land available. I'm pretty sure we've lost some areas since then, but still, you had to finding a track was something, and then seeing a buck, that was a whole different thing, because back then, if you seen a spike, that sucker was in trouble. They'd get shot at, so I mean, and it took me forever to see a spike, and then now, the management style of it has changed. People are trying to pass to shoot bigger deer, so spikes, younger deer, you can see bucks, young bucks, they're not as smart as does, you see more of them than you do does now. So all that has changed, and it's incredible that we've come this far. And so what style of hunting do you like? So you like, say, saddle or what?
Well, I started out in a climber, an old API Grand Slam. Well, I say it's old to you. To you, that may be. That's probably newer, but
I've killed a lot of deer out of that style. Actually, that stand.
Yeah.
So
it was my dad's old one. May have been my papa may have got it for him. But he handed it down to me, and that was all I knew for the longest. And then it wasn't just a couple years later, all the lock-ons started coming out, so I just moved to a lock-on. But now I run a tethered saddle, and it's crazy. You can spend as much money as you want to on it. You can make it as light as you possibly want to make it. I mean, now they have it went from 4 sticks. You hang your 4 sticks with your saddle and go up, and then now they've came out with being able to 1 stick and rappel off of a tree. So you carry in 1 stick and just rappel like you would, like rock climbers do. It's crazy how far it's came.
You do it rappelling?
I haven't. I've tried it, but I actually bought all the Mad Rock and all that you have to have for it. So I'm gonna try to get into it.
That's some neat stuff.
This next year.
That stuff is neat.
It is neat.
So, but I mean, that's a real good thing. That being mobile, because when we talk about that, being able to make your mind, to change your mind and go to a hotter spot, or being able to move if deer's just out of your shot range, or you just ain't seeing something, in season scouting. So that's where the older style, had big old stands, a bunch of stuff. Most people, I don't want to lug got that far, and so it made it hard. But now all that equipment, again, makes it so much easier for the mobile style.
Oh, it's a game changer. So, it really is. I was like you were talking about not wanting to move it. I wouldn't, which I know obviously our climbers were nicer than what y'all used to have, but I wouldn't even want to move them. And then now it's just like, well, I mean, shoot, if I need to go 200 yards deeper, I'll go 200 yards deeper. Ain't nothing to it.
Yeah, you can throw that stuff on.
You can be in the tree quick.
Be quick. Plus, you can take off. Easier to carry that when you're scouting. say miles, you know, versus lugging an API, you know, API
Yeah.
stands 20-something pound big and bulky in your pack and stuff, and trying to slip around scouting with that on your back is tough. But y'all's equipment is available now. I mean, you can go, you know, 3 or 4 miles and not even know that that's on your back, you know.
Yeah, I think I've got 4 sticks, and that's 4 pounds total, and then my platform's 3, and saddle, you know, you just wear it around your waist. It don't weigh nothing, so it changes everything. And I think I was out of like my friend group, the guys that I hunt with. I think I was the first one to get one. That would have been 3 years ago, and then it felt like after that, all my buddies had one, and then everybody had one, and it was just like, not saying I started the movement or anything, but I guess that's kind of when the game started changing. Would have been like in the past, what, 10 years? Would you say?
Yeah, you know, I remember one time they come out with them. They kind of pushed them a little bit. You know, people were looking at them, and it didn't really catch on. And I think later on that John Eberhart, you know, he's a big buck killer up north, and he somehow or another, you know, I don't know exactly, but somehow or another he got tied in with, I think, that he's killing big deer out of them, and it kind of exploded from that. And I could be wrong, but it seems like something all of a sudden 5 years later or 10 years later after they first brought them out, it's just boom, you know, and it's exploded. There's several companies, you know, making all, you know, great equipment, you know, stuff, and people are harvesting these monster bucks out of it, and just being able to, you know, be that mobile, being able to move and be able to scout with all your equipment on, and just pop up anywhere you want to, and just come out easy and get in easy. So that's all that is, just saying it's so neat. And you know, archery hunting is boomed so much now versus, you know, a lot of people don't even gun hunt anymore. You know, the archery part we're down here. You know, it took me a long time to even start bow hunting. My brother bow hunted some, and my dad, you know, he did, you know, a lot too. But I'm waiting on gun season because you know, we thought it was hard enough to shoot one of the dang gun, that let alone trying to do it with a bow. And then once I started, I loved it. You know, it's a bigger challenge. You know, and the rest, shoot, I'd starve to death though doing it because I don't shoot that many with a bow. You know, so, but I get a shot at the buck about every 4 or 5 years. But anyway, it's just all that is so. It's amazing what we have now compared to then, you know, and some of the land, you know, that we got, and, you know, the opportunities in different states, because there was, you know, a lot of states didn't even offer non-resident hunting, and that's improved now. So it's just, and you got to, how many states y'all get today? 4?
We went to 4 states.
4. So he got to go on I don't know if we keep talking about it much, but look, he got to go on a little show and do a tour thing, you know, and hunting. On most of that was public land.
It was all public land.
So in different states, all public land, and see or be introduced in different styles of, you know, deer hunting, different styles of woods, and, you know, cover and deer and just all that. How does that kind of compare to your hunting down here in the pine thickets and cutovers and you know, big woods and stuff? So.
It was definitely one of the best experiences. It was a once in a lifetime experience. I'll say that. I never thought, you know, at the time beforehand, I was, and still am now, but I was trying to figure out what I was going to do in my life and what I wanted to do, and then it was just, for me, it was just kind of it was 100 days of being able to just not think about it. So it was nice, no responsibility or anything.
Wow,
but
100 days, wow.
Yeah, on the road, it was tough at times. You know, sleeping in a tent, and then at one point in Missouri, we didn't shower for 18 days. Smelled like absolute dog crap. But it was an experience. We went to North Dakota. There's a lot of deer there. I will say that that is a extremely cool state. We went early season in September, and I learned a lot about how to hunt. And that would have been, other than I went to Illinois prior, but you can still kind of incorporate some of the stuff from Alabama to there because it's not super far.
Right.
But going all the way up there, learning how to hunt cattail marshes and stuff like that, and that was where the deer just absolutely lived. That's where they stayed at. That was pretty awesome. And they're hardwoods. You would look at it on maps, and you'd be like, dang, you know, this looks amazing. And then you'd get in there to the hardwoods, and it's like the highest stem count hardwoods you've ever seen. And you can't even walk through it. So it was neat learning what those deer did. And obviously there was a lot of hunting around ag too up there. But cattail marshes, there'd be some places you would go and they would just be miles as far as you could see,
Wow.
and just as flat as it could be, and the deer could be anywhere.
They was bedding in there and accessing ag from that. Or,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
They could pop out anywhere. It'd be like hunting ag country in the Midwest. How some of those bucks and stuff will bed in the corn and never come out because they don't have to.
Wow.
So that was pretty unique, and I learned more than I ever have on that trip from other people, and obviously from hunting new states and different kind of deer. But I think one thing that helped me was being from here and growing up hunting on public land around here in Alabama, and which is, in my opinion, still tougher than any state we went to. I ain't gonna say it's easier because I don't want to make anybody mad up in the Midwest and stuff, but
Oh yeah, you can't.
I would say it's tougher in the South.
I've been a few states, and a couple of them I didn't put a tag on. I wish I'd been a little bit more picky than I would here, but to me out there, deer is more visible. Seeing deer,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of gonna get an idea where they're at and stuff versus a big woods down here. When the pressure is on, whatever, them suckers, it's hard to just see them in the daylight.
They can be anywhere here.
Yeah, so we're up there. They kind of, because the winters are so rough and the wind and stuff like that, they kind of, everything's about the food and
They
the
rely
cover.
on it.
So
Yeah.
they need it more than that here, I guess. And here our deer can walk around and cut over, and live there its whole life and never leave it because there's so much browse and stuff until
Yeah.
it grows, completely up with sun blocks it. But that's one of the biggest differences I've noticed from what out of state stuff that I've done. But plus their deer's bodies is
Massive,
most,
massive.
most of our deer down here don't compare to the body size of them deers, so which that makes it cool, and it kind of makes the racks deceiving, but still, all that is, all that's great experiences and stuff. So opportunities to do that, and you're aged to do that, young to see all that, and then kind of incorporate that into some of your hunting down here. That's awesome. So what kind of, say, the equipment you like using, say, bow hunting? You're I guess strictly, we had aluminum arrows, and now everybody's pretty much carbon now. So
Yep.
and you mechanical versus fixed, and
Oh Lord. So I always shot mechanicals my whole entire life. I shoot a Hoyt Hyperforce, which is, I think it's a 2019 bow, 2019 bow. Absolutely love that bow. But I'd always shot mechanicals, whether it was, I shot everything, Rage, Swackers, had good luck with both of those. But then I tried a new broadhead, and I'm not gonna say what it was, a new mechanical, but, I'll say it was a Thorn. It was one of them new ones. I really liked the design. I killed a doe with it, but, I had two good bucks this past year. Shoulder shot them, which shot placement is everything. Had them get away from me, and I ended up switching to QAD Exodus fixed blade, and have never had a problem since.
that's a good blade. So the deer, of course, it's just me talking. What look, I've not killed that many. He ain't killed any of it up north side of Wyoming. He killed a 2-year-old whitetail, but it's a mule deer. But the body size being that much different from the mechanical is something you really got to think about with your shot placement, because there's just so much more you got to shoot through, and the bone structure is different. So
Yeah.
So fixed blade, you're definitely gonna get more penetration in that kind of situation. So I'm a mechanical fan because I just like more damage. But a lot of people preaching that trying to stay so tight to that leg that you can have slip ups every now and then. And I always aim a hand back.
Yep.
With a mechanical, because you put a mechanical in there and say a Spitfire is my favorite. And I've shot one with a Swacker this year, and it's just so much damage back there. Generally it's gonna be more damage than a fixed blade, unless it's a big fixed
for
blade.
sure.
So
For sure. It'll open up a hole on them.
right. So and that's just my thoughts on it. But back when we first started, I think the first mechanical I seen was called Rocket, I think, and that.
Rocket.
And
Never heard of it.
So, but I think that was the first one I ever seen. My brother killed one with a mechanical, and I said, "You lost your mind," because you look at it because it's small, and
Yeah.
that thing don't look like it's tough enough to do anything. But they shot one, killed it with it. Then later on, I was having issues with the muzzy flying. You know, at
Yeah.
30 yards, they're good, but unless it's perfect tuning or if you touch, I had the way I put my string on my face, it would make them fly off.
Yep.
You know, it just so I switched to.
There's so
mechanical,
much that goes into bow hunting.
Yes,
There's so much. I try not to think about it. I used to just flip my crap over at about my total arrow weight from knock to broadhead and everything, and I still do. I try to have everything right, but I guess the main thing for me now is just trying to get them as close as I possibly can.
Yeah, there are so many different. I could just say rabbit holes, whatever that you can get into on how you gonna do heavy arrows or you know or what. I'm 400 something grain area, you know, and just more damage. Speed is one thing, but you know, quiet to me is, you know, I'm loving Matthews bow, and I've never the last couple Matthews I've never had to put any string silencers or anything on there because they're so quiet. So that's one of my biggest things, and trying to get close, you know, on the setup where you don't have to worry about, you know, as much speed. So that's, you know, but that's some of the older generation stuff that we just always learn to try to set up so close. You know, where now, I know it's one or a couple of younger hunters that are up northern there. If a deer is in one of them fields 100 yards, that sucker's in trouble with a bow.
Oh,
you know? So,
they came out with all the sliding sights and stuff like that.
I mean, that stuff is amazing, but it's just not even feasible for me to think about doing it. You know, now with like having to try to figure out glasses with sights and looking through peeps and all that stuff. It's hard enough to do it with a scope, and so but still that's all amazing because you know one of the first bows I had was a bear whitetail or something from Walmart thing, and that sucker was so loud and you couldn't hit something past 20 something yards with it. You know?
It's gonna duck on you.
Yeah, and so. Just what we had, you know. There was some better stuff, but it was high, expensive stuff then, and we couldn't afford it. So we just got the Walmart bow and you know and slung arrows at deer and never touched anything until way later on. The first deer I killed was a mule deer doe. It was with a Jennings Uniforce, you know, some of the first solo cam stuff that come out. So that tells you, you know, that's pretty good ways into the bow creation stuff. So you talk about you had never heard of the rocket. It's a broadhead, so that's pretty neat. So
I'd never even heard of that bow you just said either.
Jennings Uniforce?
Nope.
I got it laying over on the floor.
Never seen one, never heard of one. I guess probably the oldest bow that I can think of would probably be like a old Matthews solo cam or something. And that ain't even that old.
No, because Matthews, the first solo cam I had was a Feather Max. Then I had a Legacy and then the Adrenaline. So that's the three that I've had, and they're of course all of them was solo cams. They had a couple models before that, but that was I can't remember who exactly come out with the first solo cam. I think Matthews actually kind of evolved it or something. But anyway, it was just simpler about the tuning. So you know,
right.
Before that, everybody was trying to shoot overdraws. I don't know if y'all can remember that overdraws. You know, they were making arrows short. They'd have the wrist inset. You know, just shortening your brace height basically,
right.
and the the broadhead would be almost inside the riser. So it'd make them so short trying to get speed. So it was just, I mean, that's, you know, most people probably don't even know about that now, but that's
I didn't know about it.
Yeah, that was with aluminum arrows, you know, and so, but it is like carbon is completely took over now, you know.
Oh yeah.
I went from aluminum arrows to ACCs, the carbon over aluminum, and still I shoot carbon over aluminum, but it's the Easton, their Deep Six arrow, but it's AC injection. So now I don't think they make them anymore because that Deep Six stuff didn't catch on. I wasn't a big fan of it, but I like a small diameter arrow for the more penetration. But that's you know, that's funny that you've not even heard of some of that stuff. And I was trying to think of the bow that had all them different kind of cables and stuff. That some people bow fish with them now. They still make it, but it was a loud bow, but it's kind of recurve limb with a bunch of cables. I can't think of that. You probably never heard of one of them. That suckers. It was kind of popular there for a while, but anyway, you know, Matthews now, you got Hoyt, you got PSE, and you know, and now Prime, and
gosh, there's so
several
many
different. You know,
bows.
they're all great bows now, so you can't hardly even pick a bad one. So that's all amazing. So who like some of the first people I grew up watching, we'll say like Night and Hale. You know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of them? They're pretty old now. So, of course, Bill Jordan and the Real Trees. Them Buckmasters or the Buckmasters too. So, and them old TV shows back then was on VHS. Monster Buck videos.
That's what I was about. That would have been the first hunting show, I guess, that I would have ever watched. Would have been Monster Bucks, and that was only because of my dad, I guess.
How old was your dad?
How old is he?
Yeah.
He's 53.
He's just 5 years younger than me, so that's good for you watching that stuff. I didn't tell you. I mean, that's that puts helped put some fire into us about some of that stuff. Seeing them big bucks that they were taking. So, so
those are some good shows. I love watching them.
Them first ones, when they first come out, there was a lot of tree shooting and stuff. Because they evolved and they're hunting too. So Steve Barkowski, the old quarterback, was on some of their first ones, and that was funny watching them. So. But they've done a lot for the industry. Several folks have done a lot for the industry. So who now do you kind of model for the stuff that you watch? I heard a lot of younger generation, that Chris B guy.
You talking about like modeling my hunting style after?
Yeah, them people are what you watch, try to pay attention to, and podcasts. We got so many podcast stuff out now. We didn't have anything like that.
Right.
I had Outdoor Life, and it didn't have anything to do with hunting down here with what we have for magazines.
Right.
And fur fishing game, and it was all northern stuff. So.
Well, I watch all the popular ones like Chris B, like Seek One, the Suburban Hunter guys, but probably some of my favorite are the guys that you find that aren't famous. The guys that are just basically cold-blooded killers. One of them that is semi-well known that I enjoy watching, that I've learned a lot from, is the do-it-yourself hunter guys from Mississippi. Those guys are killers.
Yeah.
I would rather watch somebody like that than somebody with the insanely good footage and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Daniel Lemon.
You learn a lot more.
Daniel Lemon is part of that. He's a younger guy, but I watch them too, and that's great. What they do, and Jeremy is helped Daniel along, I'm sure, but what they've done in different states is being from Mississippi to the South and going to all those states, and they come back
incredible.
Whoppers. I mean, that's some of the most impressive. And I'm like you. Some of that beautiful footage and all that is fine, but I'm more about the learning process and what it took to get the deer. And so
that's my favorite kind of videos is people teaching when they teach, when they hunt. The hunting public, they do a good job of teaching while they hunt.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing. It's talking about how it's changed is the knowledge being out there is people like that put their knowledge out there for everybody to see. That's one thing that has helped so many people kill so many bigger deer. Seems like nowadays just about everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people are killing big deer. And I've asked several people, like, how'd you do it? Well, I just watch YouTube. You can just about learn anything you want to off YouTube nowadays.
On YouTube, which is the YouTube thing, but it's you can anything, you can fix something, watching YouTube. So.
Yeah.
And that's amazing, and it's great to have that, and you can pick whatever you want, whatever style you want, and do it, find it on YouTube. And I'm like that. I like watching the do-it-yourself hunter, and then there was some more where they go out and they're drawing their tags and going out west in different areas and hunting like that. I've watched a lot of that, different styles, and before YouTube, so. Fred Eichler is one of my favorites, as far as the fire and the I guess be kind of the show stuff, but he's recurve guy, and just he's not about shooting monster bucks all the time. It's the excitement and part of the hunt. So, and there's some more guys that do some out west stuff that I like watching, and just general, and a lot of the local guys around here I like watching. So it's just And then so let's just go back to some little history. So so you have how many is in your group of younger guys that you hunt with and stuff? So.
Well, the only friends that I have are hunting buddies. So
All hunting buddies. Well, that's good. Nothing wrong with that. So,
no, there ain't. That's all we do. Whether we're deer hunting, duck hunting, squirrel hunting, turkey hunting, whatever. I've got it ain't a bunch. It's crazy when you get out of high school how many friends you lose, or people you just don't talk to anymore. But I've probably got a group of 8 or 10 buddies that I hunt with and
Hunt, fish,
and spend the majority of my time with.
duck hunting starting to pick up a little bit down here, versus what it used to be. It kind of, I guess they're seeing more ducks now or something, something has brought it where it's getting more popular again, because it used to it's struggling around here for people to kill ducks, but
Social media is what I think it is. It's about the duck hunting part of it.
so my dad and them, they duck hunted before they deer hunted. They
Really?
duck hunted, rabbit
cool.
hunted, and then went to deer hunting. So, and they just because they were trying to find some kind of hobby. They even commercial fish. They were running trot lines, jump boxes and stuff, trying to
Yeah.
catching catfish, selling them, and they were just trying to find some kind of hobby, and they ended up switching over to deer hunting, and they stuck with that. So, and some trapping too, when you could make money at it, but you ain't gonna make much money at it now. But so that's kind of involved with my style of hunting. So.
I feel like trapping's kind of not something many people my age do.
It's just,
I personally have only done it. I did it with my papa and my dad, trying to trap coyotes. But other than that, I don't have a single buddy that really traps. I've caught some coons and stuff like that here and there, but I feel like that's something that's kind of died out that shouldn't have. It's predator control, varmint control is
used to be a lot
something
of trap.
that needs to be done.
Right. Used to you could trap and make gas money, for hunting and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I remember if you heard of it, we didn't have many coyotes. They just wasn't hardly any. I remember when they first started getting more people were trapping them. So, and then raccoons, fox, and everything. The nest predators. A lot of people were already trapping them. So we didn't. The turkey hunt population might have been a little bit better then, but now that's like you say, it's fell off. And a lot of that was because of the cost. It costs more to buy the stuff than you can get out of trapping now. So,
Right.
So the only thing to benefit trapping now is predator control. You're not going to make any money. So it's a loss whenever you start trapping, kind of. So, but again, that's what we learned. I trapped before school. Another thing. So you got 8 or 10 hunting buddies. Now, how many people, like say in school, in your high school, was hunting buddies? A lot of them hunted, or is it? Because just about everybody, like when I was in school, everybody had a truck. You drive in the school parking lot, they'd be gun and a gun rack, shotgun, 22s mainly, every now and then a rifle, but
it's kind of weird, cause like part of me wants to say that hunting's on a comeback because of like social media and stuff like that. I feel like it's really helped a lot more people of my age get out there. But then when I think about it, like in high school, there wasn't but just a couple people that even. There might be some guys, that may go out once or twice a year, but they ain't really, die-hard hunters.
Right.
I only had 2 or 3 buddies in high school that even would go every weekend and just didn't really enjoyed it.
Well, I'm hoping that it appears, seeing you and some of the other younger guys and some of these shows that are promoting, I'm hoping that's kind of helping with that. But in general, I'm pretty sure that the hunting numbers is still falling.
I would agree.
And
I feel like society's kind of tried to make hunters out as bad guys in a way.
Yeah.
And really, our world's just gotten soft. This is what I think it is. I just think people have just gotten soft.
Yeah, a lot of that's computer generation stuff. All that. Video gaming or whatever. But something has, and so it's tough. But I'm hoping the YouTube stuff and then all that now that's visible. The promotion and stuff is helping.
I think it helps for sure.
So because again, I'm watching y'all doing that and seeing y'all at archery tournaments. Some of the archery tournament stuff is picked up good. So and that's neat. And then some more programs that they have out that's making it easier for people that have not been grown up with it to see it and pick it up some is neat. And then hopefully
that's a good point. There's a lot of people that I may not know them, but I'll see like a comment on an Instagram post or something like that, where there's a kid on there that's like commenting about how they didn't grow up in hunting and that you know, somebody on YouTube got them into it, and then now they're learning from them, and now they fell in love with it, which is
Right.
pretty dang cool.
Yeah, it's real cool. They even, you know, the state's offering some adult mentored thing where they're carrying adults out that have never been offered the opportunity to hunt, and they, you know, their kids, they're seeing their kids doing some stuff and they want to do it. So there's some programs with that in the state, and that's neat. So.
That is neat.
And I'm hoping they can continue to do that, because, you know, you're kind of worried about all this anti-stuff and all that that's, you know, and the other gun stuff that's been negative put out there that, you know, we can, you know, bring the younger generation into it, and maybe some of the older ones into it, and try to continue, because, you know, taking care of the wildlife is a lot of our responsibility, you know, because, you know, the conservation department is strictly driven by, you know, license sales. That's where they get their money from.
Yeah.
You know, they get some federal money, some matching money from the Pittman-Robertson Act from a long time ago, so they get some federal money for that, you know, and that's from ammo sales and stuff like that. And a lot of that money is coming from not actually hunters. You know, I think it's around 30% of that money is from hunters. That's federal money, and the rest of it's from people that's buying guns and, you know, archery equipment and stuff like that. Because they, you know, Olympics is helped with some of the archery stuff, and then some of the rifles, the target stuff, you know, and of course the home defense and all that stuff. So, but anyway, it's us that's, you know, pretty much taking care of the wildlife, or, you know, trying to manage it, and, you know, help it. You know, all the anti stuff, to me, you know, they're spending more money trying to stop you from hunting versus, you know, helping wildlife or creating habitat or anything like that. So,
yeah,
which we got some, you know, good organizations for that. You know, if everybody can try to get involved in that, and hopefully the younger people will, you know, pick that up and understand that, because it was in school. I don't think schools push it like, you know, used to. When I was in school, there was, you know, when you were in ag or some of the other courses, you know, they had stuff where they talked about hunting and, you know, taking care of things, you know. So but now, you know, schools are kind of pushing away from some of that stuff. So
yeah.
anyway, so what? So you like the saddle stuff, and so you like an all-day sitter, or you like getting up, you know, getting in a tree an hour before daylight, or going in at daylight? What or you prefer morning huntings or evening huntings, or what do you prefer? So,
Well, I prefer an evening hunt personally. I've just seen more bucks of an evening. Don't know why, but I just have. But it depends on the scenario, what time I'm gonna get in there. Depends on my walk, where I'm at. If I'm hunting public, I'm 100% beating somebody there, because you just got to. I don't like getting beat to the spot, and I don't like knowing that I've got a buck in there worth killing and somebody else being there. That's a sickening feeling, and I'm sure you felt that before. I try to just. I learned, like I said, I learned a lot on that trip about scouting and finding and hunting sign. That's kind of what I try to do. Around here, I guess my thing is try to get in the thickest crap I can find, and then figure them out from there. I learned a lot about reading sign just within the past year, and obviously from my dad too. Trying to figure out, just stopping and looking instead. I used to just barrel roll, just walk as fast as I could through there, and would just, you know, see sign, but I wouldn't stop and sit back and think about what that buck's doing and why he's doing it. And when I finally, I guess that kind of comes with an age thing too. When I finally just kind of took a step back and thought about it, I feel like I got a lot better at figuring out bucks and killing bucks.
yeah, that's the hardest part. Like when I was young, the patience, the thing,
Yeah.
and being more observant, you know, about brow sign, you know, and, you know, seeing droppings, and, you know, and looking for smaller sign, you know, that makes the picture, you know, or bring the picture together,
Brings it up,
complete the picture, you know, versus just taking all, trying to find big old scrapes or big rubs, you know, and not looking for the other detailed sign, or not looking for, you know, possible bedding or things like that. So the thicker edges, and, you know, we just, of course, like again, you know, we were trying to find a track was tough, you know, back when we first started hunting. But so when you left there in the West, stuff like that, so you picked up on that scrape stuff. Is that scrape thing? Did y'all put that into perspective a lot out in the West, trying to find, you know, licking branch scrapes and
Yeah.
tying that into?
Yeah, I always, when I would go in, I would get on my maps on Onyx, which is another thing that's changed the game.
Mapping stuff is.
Changed the game
Yeah.
so much. I always would just get on my maps and just scroll and scroll and scroll and looking at different pieces and try to break it down on my phone before I went in and scouted an area. I mean, I'll try to find, like a thermal hub or where a bunch of ridges are coming together, somewhere where I think there might be sign or somewhere where there might be holding up a buck or try to see a bedding area and think, hey, he could come down, cruising the downwind side of this right here, or I might could kill him here. That's the e-scouting stuff has changed. It makes it easier, in my opinion. Some people may disagree, but I think it makes it so much easier to at least get an idea of where you think bucks may be at. But yeah, I've never had just a whole bunch of luck hunting scrapes, and I guess I don't know everything about them. I don't study them as much as some people, but I always try to hunt around them. Now I did in Missouri, made a big mistake. Was walking in, and I was just hunting a rut funnel basically. And so we were hunting around that big lake up there, and there was a cove running up right here on my right, and there's a strip of hardwood and then 2 cedar thickets running down and a hardwood draw in between them. And I'm like, there's a big old community scrape right here and a couple big old rubs. And I'm like, this is it, like this is perfect. Well, we scouted it and then came back in there and hunted it. And I set up about 60 yards on the other side of it. For what reason, I don't know. And I pissed and scrape walking in, and got in there dead middle of the day. It was like 12:30. It was hot that day. Didn't really expect to see anything. And about 3 o'clock, here comes 2 bucks in there, and they both hit the scrape. And I too dang far to shoot, and it was just off they go. Made a big mistake on that one, so I definitely learned from that.
Yeah, that is tough. If you're gonna be by a big scrape like that, keep within shooting range.
Nah, but then I realized shortly after that if I'm gonna freshen one up going in, I might as well sit on it and hunt it.
Yeah, there was a big old community one like anywhere I hunt, and that with the right edges and pinches, be where you can shoot to it.
Yeah.
And then I try to stay downwind of me. Across is what I'm trying to do, but yeah. That would hurt. Still want to get in.
It sucked. I mean, it wasn't no giant or nothing, but
it very well could have been though.
Yeah. I did see a really good deer walking in there. Well, honestly, it's probably the biggest deer I've ever seen on the hoof.
Yeah.
Walking in there, just a big old freaking main frame. I don't know, 10 or 12 typical, but just had. I mean, all I could see was 2s, and looked like they were dead-gum skyrocketing up off the top of his head.
Wow.
Walking in again, middle of the day, it's like 12:30. And the guy that was filming me that day, we stopped and took a lick, and then here come a doe. We weren't 60 yards from the tree, and here come a doe, and he was behind her. But learned from that one too. Better get in there, or at least sit all day. It came out to get lunch, and I messed up on that.
Yeah, during that right time frame, that's a hard lesson. With me and Kathy hunting, it's hard to stay all day. We do some midday hunt sometime, but when it's that time, the more time, stay with it, because
That can happen in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, when you're going out to get lunch, when you can be sitting there and chewing on a sandwich in the tree, and a big boy come by, you got a chance at him anyway. So yeah, that makes that tough. So which one of them states was kind of your favorite? So
Was my man, I would have to say Missouri probably was. I enjoyed every state we went to. West Virginia was tough. That's a tough state to hunt because it's just like that
mountains.
everywhere you go. I mean, we found some good deer there, just never could really get on them. But Missouri probably had to have been my favorite, and I guess because I could incorporate more of what I knew from hunting in the South to there. Because there's a lot of the landscape there that is similar. So that would have probably been my favorite state. Like I said, North Dakota was fun. It's just flat and big and thick, but Michigan was thick too. Michigan's a weird state though. It's gorgeous there. We were there, in October, but that is a very weird state to hunt. I mean,
I watched
We-
some people that
We all shot young bucks there. I'll say that.
I watched some, channel that's out of there, and they got some good deer there in places, and some of that Upper Peninsula stuff, watching that thick stuff, where they're hunting, the deer don't seem to get as big a rack, but pretty good sized bodies, and that's a neat style of hunting. It's kind of similar to here. They're hunting cutovers, basically cuts and stuff. And the people there, you got probably two sides of the coin, I guess, with the people there, but some of them are dedicated outdoor people, so. And they're pretty extreme about it seems, and that's neat too. But me and Kathy drove through there carrying her bear. A guy mounted it in Michigan, so real famous taxidermist guy. But we drove through part of it. It's pretty neat. So, but that upper part I hadn't been to, but that would be kind of cool, I think, to go see some of that. So.
Yeah, we were in southern Michigan. There were some of the guys that we had met there talked about the Upper Peninsula up there, and hunting up there was really tough. But I was happy to be in southern Michigan. The way they talked, it was rough up there.
Yeah.
One cool thing about Missouri though, so we stayed that extra week. We were gonna go to Oklahoma for the last week, which I was excited about. That would have been fun. But since we only had a week, and that's counting driving too, it would have been cut short. So,
Yeah.
but the South has a very strong rifle heritage, but that up there was insane. I've never seen, you talk about the Orange Army on Managed and stuff like that. Around here, it was absolutely insane there. There was people everywhere.
Wow.
And it's like the only, because I think they get like just a week or two out of every year to rifle hunt.
Yeah.
And that's like the only time most of those people come out there, and they're just, they walk 50 yards from the truck and pop up, and it's just like, golly, and everywhere you walk, there's people there.
They're basically meat hunting then, ain't they?
Oh yeah, they're meat hunting.
Man drives and all that stuff.
Well, I don't think they could man drive. There was people doing it, but it was once you when they were all pressuring everything, we kind of figured it out, and it was kind of too late when we figured it out. But all we had to do was just walk all the way past, because there's a bunch of ag fields there on the public. Just walk all the way past and get to the woolly thick stuff right against the river bottom. If you can, it might be a willow tree like that, but if you can figure out a way to get up it, and them deer are in there.
Yeah, some of that's kind of neat. Like when we go to Wyoming, bow hunting there, you don't see hardly anybody, but whenever that gun open, it's like a dove shoot down here is what it looked like.
Yeah,
It's just,
that's how it was there.
But it's pretty neat. They fly in there for about 3 or 4 days, and most people get whatever they hunting or whatever meat they're getting, and they're gone within a week. So,
Yeah.
But it's fast and furious. So we try to concentrate most of our stuff bow hunting, and then the gun hunting part, we let some of that settle down, and before we get out there, because it can be it's crazy. You hear bullets ricocheting out there, and it's so much shooting. So, but I'm glad I got to talk to you and feel better, seeing the younger generation like you and then that group that you're hanging out with, kind of promoting the younger generation into stuff like that, doing different states and spending that great time in the outdoors, and that's amazing, and I feel better about hopefully that the younger generation will keep doing it, and seeing y'all on the YouTube and all this social media stuff will help promote and
I think it is for sure.
And our hunting heritage will be in good hands with y'all. That's what I'm hoping for, because the stuff that I've done over the years, the writing articles and all that is trying to help, because we love it so much in the outdoors. We want it to continue for our grandkids and all that. So that's why we it's spent so much time doing that stuff, whether people like it or not. Is promoting what you can do on the public land, and y'all doing that, getting to see the different states, what you can do on that, hopefully will help, and get more people, younger generation out.
Yeah.
So out in there and do that. So
And they just threw out 5 random guys and told us to go do it. You know what I mean? Anybody can do it. And I feel like a lot of the, talking about how a lot of my generation doesn't hunt and stuff. I think people don't think hunters, they're just, just killing to kill. I think that's a lot of like my generation's problem with it. Once they really understand that it ain't, to me, it ain't just a hobby. It ain't just something that I just do on the weekends. It's a part of me. And,
Yeah, lifestyle.
I thank the Lord I grew up doing it,
Yeah.
and my family supports it. I think once they figure out what it's really about, that it ain't just about the kill. Most times it's just about watching the show.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, the whole experience, and plus you're managing, animals. You're not trying to eliminate them. You're trying to help it, make it better for them, by population control and age control and stuff like that. The only concern I got now is the economy. Our son, he works so much, to afford, to live that, that's what makes it hard.
Right now.
It's tough right now. That stuff. That's kind of a concern, is the economy, being able to have money to do stuff like that, because it's like you talking about. You can spend all you want on hunting stuff.
Yeah.
It's some of it is crazy pricey, but but a lot of it's worth it, because you're the safety part of it, and it's got to be built good and got to be quality stuff, and it costs money to do that. So anyway, man, I appreciate talking to you, and I feel better that the younger generations are starting to pick it up some, and I'm proud that a local guy from out here got to do that stuff, and I've seen you a couple times out while we're doing archery tournaments and stuff, and get to talk a little bit, and so I can't believe one of your buddies. We try to get some of your buddies to come over here and chat with us and hang out.
Well, like I told Michael, I said they
got
damn
girlfriends.
It looks like I'm gonna be hunting on my own for a while if they don't straighten up.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna have to set some boundaries with them. I know that.
Just an hour or so to come over here and sit and chat. But anyway, good talking to you, and good luck the rest of the season, and hopefully we have some good luck. We'll
same to you.
send me a picture or something, and maybe I'm looking forward next year in the archery tournament. We're going to have to do something like we do some kind of challenge, younger generation versus older generation challenge.
That would be fun.
So,
well, yeah, we need to do that.
that'd be cool. But get something going on, do something. So even maybe go to one of them funky what's they got them real where you got to do a bunch of hiking and walking and doing them shooting.
Oh, them tack shoots.
And tack shoots, and something else they call one of them where it's rough, but anyway, that'd be pretty neat. So
that would be neat.
do some stuff or a Reinhardt tournament or something like that. So that'd be neat. Anyway, great talking to him. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all next one. Thank y'all for watching this video. Hey, we appreciate y'all's support. Hey, if you don't care, if you haven't got a book yet, Amazon, get a book. We got hard copies now available. It took me a while to get them, but hey, they're on there now. Again, we appreciate it. Appreciate everybody's hard work that helped us to get this done. Lifetime achievement. So anyway, you can get one, and thanks again for y'all's support. Subscribe, like, tell your friends, and we'll keep coming up with these videos. So we'll see y'all on the next one.